Hi, it's Lucy, and today I'm here to do my June TBR. Before I get started, I have to let you know that both of my cats are in this room with me right now. Thor really wants to go in my closet for some reason, and Tucker is relaxing. That's Thor asking to go in my closet and also asking me why I'm currently speaking. Both my cats really dislike when I talk. Here's some live footage. Clearly I'm interrupting their private moment. Anyway, timestamps are linked down below. I do the little chapter things if you want to skip ahead ever. But June is a great month for two reasons. One, Pride Month. We love Pride. Very obvious. Two, my booktube anniversary is this month. My booktube channel will be turning 6 years old. 6. Wow, my hands look really pale. I actually last year had a whole plan to do something for my 5-year anniversary because, 5 is a more, literally not an even number, but, you usually celebrate things on 5s. You celebrate your 25th birthday, your 30th birthday, like things that are multiples of 5s. And I had a whole plan, but then all of the Black Lives Matter protests were happening and I was just not in the headspace to do that, and I really didn't want to do that. But I was really excited for all those video ideas, so I'm pushing it over a year. So we're celebrating 6 years on booktube. And yeah, this month will just be all about me. I'm planning to do a bunch of videos about like my time on booktube, books I've read because of booktube, and things like that. So if you have any suggestions or video idea suggestions that you would like to see from me based on that very teeny prompt, basically, let me know in the comments down below. I do have like a lot of videos planned, but if someone comments a video idea or a question or anything that prompts another video idea that's better than one of the ones I have planned, then I'll do that instead. So like I mentioned first, this month is Pride Month. There are a whole bunch of readathons that will be taking place during this month, obviously, and I will not be taking part in any of them just because I already have so many plans and everything, but I will leave in the description box down below links to a bunch of readathons if you want to participate in any Pride related readathons. And there will also be the Fuckathon, which isn't strictly Pride related, but it's hosted by Noria from, I think it's Chronicles of Noria right now. I completely forgot her channel name, but it'll be linked down below, and I wanted to shout that out. So all readathon information will be linked down below in case you want to participate. I realized I forgot to mention this, but I am still taking part in the Broken Earth Trilogy read-along that Chloe from Thistle and Verse is hosting. If you want to hear more about that, check out my main TBR or the community post I did. They will be linked down below. Oh, also, even though I'm not taking part in any Pride-specific readathons, I will be prioritizing LGBTQ plus books during this month. That's that. Now, let's get into the TBR. First, we have the arcs I'm planning to read. So I am simply carrying over all the arcs that I mentioned for my May TBR because I was a failure last month and I did not finish any of them. So I have 4 arcs that I'm planning to read this month, and 3 of them I mentioned in my May TBR, which I posted literally a couple weeks ago because I also posted that late. I won't be really rehashing the synopsises for those, but those 3 books are Some Girls Do by Jennifer Dugan. This basically follows 2 girls who start dating, but one of them is in the closet, and so they're navigating that. Some Girls Do came out in May. Better Together by Christine Riccio. This comes out on June 1st, so it's already out, but Better Together is described as a mix of Freaky Friday and The Parent Trap. And This Poison Heart by Kaylin Bayron. This comes out on June 29th, and it's basically an urban fantasy where we follow a girl who has the power to grow plants with the touch of her hand, and she ends up having to ultimately use her gift to protect herself and her family from evil forces. The audio quality should be better now. I forgot to plug in my mic. So the final arc that I want to talk to you all about is a book that comes out in July 13th to be exact, and that book is The Taking of Jake Livingston by Ryan Douglas. This follows Jake, who's not only one of the only Black kids at his school, and one of the other ones is his brother, but he is also a medium who sees the dead play out their last moments over and over, just wandering around. For the most part, Jake is always happy to help them move on to the next place until Sawyer comes along, and Sawyer in his life was someone who had killed 6 students and then took his own life. And now he is a vengeful ghost with plans for Jake. Suddenly, everything Jake knows about the dead world goes out the window as Sawyer begins to haunt him, and high school soon becomes a different kind of survival game, one Jake is not sure he can win. So this sounds really interesting to me. I originally didn't want this book because I thought the taking part, the fact that the main character on the cover looks kind of like very spooked, I thought this was about zombies, and maybe little known fact, I do not like zombies at all. I just don't like reading about them, seeing them. I feel like a lot of the time there's a lot of gore included, which is my least favorite part of horror and is the main reason I don't watch any horror things, and I do avoid that. So, but this is not about zombies, so I'm excited to read it. Ghosts are fine for me. All of those arcs I received from various publishers in exchange for an honest review. Next, we have my random picks, which is where I take my Goodreads TBR, use a random number generator and your comments to pick out books for me to read. I pick out 3 and then I try and read 1 every month. So all 3 of these books will probably not get read, but 1 should get read. The first one is Noteworthy by Riley Redgate. This is about Jordan, a girl who is about to start her 3rd year at her performing arts high school, and she believes that this is her year to finally get selected for the school musical. Unfortunately, her alto 2 voice does not get her selected for the school musical, and Jordan decides to take drastic measures. She sees that the very celebrated and elite all-male a cappella group is having auditions, so Jordan puts on her best drag in auditions, and she makes it. Now Jordan has to struggle with hiding her secret that she's a girl in this all-male a cappella group, as well as dealing with making new friends and keeping her old friends, having crushes on both guys and girls, and more. And with her secret growing heavier every day, Jordan pushes beyond gender norms to confront what it means to be a girl and a guy in today's society. And most importantly, what it means to be herself. The Wicker King by K.A. Ankrum. This book sounds real interesting to me, hence why we're here. We follow August when he learns that his friend is showing signs of a degenerative hallucinatory disorder. Sorry, that took me so long. August is determined to help out his friend and help him cope. His friend's vivid and long-term visions take the form of an elaborate fantasy world ruled over by the Wicker King. As he leads them on a quest to fulfill a dark prophecy in this alternate world, August is trying to figure out what's real and what's not. And finally, The Gallery of Unfinished Girls by Lauren Kars. This is a magical realism book that follows Melanie, a young artist with a creative block. Her lack of inspiration might come from the fact that her abuela is in a coma, or it could come from her secret crush on her best friend, Victoria, but she's too afraid to admit it. But then art starts to show up in Mercedes' life in mysterious ways despite her creative block, and then her mysterious neighbor invites her to paint with her at the Red Mangrove Estate. At the estate, Mercedes can create in ways she never could before, but Mercedes can't take anything out of the estate, including her newfound clarity. Mercedes can't live both lives forever, and ultimately she must choose between the perfect world of art and the truth of a much messier reality. So those are my 3 random picks. I think most likely I am going to read The Wicker King of those 3 because it seems like I've just been really excited about this for a while, I feel like. Kay Ankrum's other book is coming out this month as well, I think, or is about to come out or something like that. So yeah, I want to read one of her previous books and then see if I want to check out her new book. Lastly, we have just some other books I picked out. These all have queer LGBTQ plus protagonists because it's June. First we have I Think I Love You by Ariane de Sombre. I have talked about this synopsis before because I have mentioned this in a previous TBR video, probably really recently. This came out in March, and I did have an arc of this, but I didn't get to read it in time, so now I'm reading it. The brief synopsis of this is that it follows 2 girls who are opposites, and they're forced to work together on a film for this film competition, and as they butt heads, their rivalry starts to feel like a rom-com. So it sounds cute and fun. We love that. Summer of Salt by Katrina Leno. This was really popular on BookTube a couple of years ago, and I'm finally hoping to get to it this month. This follows a girl named Georgina who's waiting for her family magic to come to her, to be passed to her, but as she nears her 18th birthday, she's starting to think it's not going to happen. The people in her family with these magical powers are something, but the island that her family lives on and the people on it tend to ignore that, ignore what they are, until tragedy strikes and they are put under scrutiny. And we follow Georgina over the course of the summer as these things are happening, and Georgina will learn the truth about magic in its many forms. Lastly, we have One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. You have probably almost definitely heard of this book. Casey McQuiston wrote Red, White, and Royal Blue, which took, I think, the world by storm, or at least the book-loving world, I think. I clearly haven't read that. I mean, not clearly, I guess, but I haven't read that yet. This is Casey McQuiston's second book, and I was able to get a copy of it from Libro FM, which I do have an affiliate link for in the description box down below if you're interested. But since I have the audiobook available, it does sound interesting to me, and everyone loves Casey McQuiston's writing, so I figured I might as well give this a shot. This follows a girl named August who has moved to New York City, seeming kind of jaded and wanting to prove that things like magic and cinematic love stories just don't exist. Until she starts having a crush on a girl that she sees all the time on the subway, and then she realizes that this girl doesn't just dress like a 70s rocker, she is a 70s rocker, and she's actually displaced from time. And so August takes it upon herself to help this girl get back to her time, I guess, and she realizes maybe it's time for her to start believing in things. This is a relatively short TBR video. I'm trying not to weigh myself down with a bunch of TBR books. I gave myself a lot of audiobook choices, hopefully, so I can get more done. And yeah, so those are most of the books I'm planning to read this month. Thank you so much for watching. In the comments down below, let me know what you're planning to read in the month of June. Also, leave me a number between 1 and 98 in the comments down below for next month's random picks. And like this video if you haven't already, subscribe if you haven't already, hit the notification bell if you haven't already to be notified whenever I post a video. I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!